Now, I invite Dr. M.L. Patnaik, Associate Professor of Forensic Medicine. He is going to present on scope and dispatch, a scientific study of ethics, numbers, and law involving kidney transplant.
To large number of patients suffering from end-stage kidney disease all over the world. The boon, however, has a thus displayed it in the form of an ugly organ trade resorted to by middlemen operating in secrecy, exploiting donors and patients alike, giving rise to intense humanitarian, ethical, and legal dilemmas. WHO considering this as inhuman resolve plan. In response, Government of India enacted Step 4 Act 1994 and the latest amendment was in 2011. This paper deals with the study of various loopholes in the current law on organ transplantation in India regions for commercial dealing and suggestions for their prevention. Desperate diseases require desperate remedies. In India, high prevalence of poverty, illiteracy, and lack of enforcement of law is leading to trading and commercialization of human organs. The act that has been enacted in this condition is not really very effective. So the aims and objectives of this paper are humanitarian to protect the plight of the people suffering from end-stage disease, commercial to highlight the murky trade of organ donation, legal to simplify this complex and comprehensive law for better understanding by doctors, ethical issues to discuss the dilemmas of organ trade in the face of hospital donation, and some suggestions to overcome this plight. Approximate people requiring organ transplantation in kidney is 1 lakh every year and only 4,000 organs available. From 1971 to 2011, only 25,000 operations have been, 20,000 operations have been done, indicating the great demand and the great need for it. The commercial angle, because of the very high degree of poverty in the bottom 30% of population, the population is ready to sell its kidney for its own purposes. And in America, the cost of transplant surgery is 70 lakhs, whereas in India, it is only 10 lakhs, making it easy for foreigners to enter into trade. So these are some of the examples, the deeds of Dr. Horror in Delhi some years ago, and a racket busted by Andhra Jyoti newspaper on this, where people operating from Bengaluru charging rupees 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs for a safe kidney transplant operation in Sri Lanka, where the loss is really limited. While we were submitting this article, right, one doctor was arrested in Hyderabad for a kidney sale. The legal tangles are very comprehensive. There is no time here to discuss all these things, but all these suffice if I say appropriate authority is the enforcing authority who is advised by an advisory committee who can penalize people and authorize hospitals to do a surgery. So the authorization committee is located in every hospital conducting the surgery. Sub-district level, district level, state level, and country level, give authorization for conduct of the operation, without which no one can take up or remove the kidney and transplant it to water. So donors are 5 types basically. It is the donor number 1, any live donor who can give his kidney out of affection or attachment to anyone. The person from Delhi can have a kidney donation from Calcutta. Far away, not related, no affection, no attachment. This is the clause which is giving rise to this organ trade. Critical patients. Should we allow the patient suffering from the kidney disease to purchase a kidney? or if such a person is caught on the deathbed, shall we punish him? For the society, can the society give us sufficient number of kidneys for transplantation? Should the patients be allowed to die thousands every year? For the donors, this is the issues for donation, and the answers lies here. A donor says it is better than prostitution. Conclusion, and it is in a country so much visible poverty, we have two sets of suggestions. Allow the organ donors to die without doing anything. Or commercialize it. Large number of people are getting rewards to lakhs and crores of rupees, which they don't need them. But you object if a poor kidney donor demands some money or expects some money out of this. The honorable act of organ donation will be majesty if this is done within the precincts of law. This favor to the patient. These are the punishment, and I suggest be an organ donor and save a life. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
I am Shruti from Department of Color Medicine, going to give a presentation on all presentations of bronchogenic carcinoma referred from primary healthcare center are really atypical or not. Lung cancer is one of the commonest cause of cancer deaths worldwide. And in resource-poor countries like India, diagnosis of lung cancer is primarily based on referrals from primary healthcare physicians. Misleading chest X-rays lead in delaying the diagnosis and thereby increase the mortality rate. And early diagnosis can help in curative treatment and thereby decreasing the mortality rate. This is chest X-ray that was referred to our department, which is a 70-year-old male, which was diagnosed to be a case of right upper lobe consolidation and given a course of antibiotic for 7 to 15 days, which was not recovered. And on suspicion, we just did FNAC. You can see a right hilar mass lesion, which is causing an obstructive pneumonia, leading to non-resolution of this patient. And the FNAC of the lung tissue was done, and which is suggestive of squamous cell carcinoma. This is another chest X-ray that is suggesting a lung abscess in the left lower lobe, which is seen in the lateral view as an air fluid in the apical segment of left lower lobe. And on CECT chest, it was diagnosed to be having a heterogeneously enhancing mass lesion in the lower lobe of left lung. And this is another chest X-ray, which has a 52-year-old female case, which was diagnosed as a simple pleural effusion on the left side by a primary healthcare physician. And on further investigations, it was diagnosed as a mass lesion that is encroaching along the left main bronchus and causing an obstruction. So, aim of my study is to examine the chest X-ray features of patients diagnosed as lung cancer and to study their symptomatology. This was a retrospective observation study that was done on 52 lung cancer patients who were diagnosed in the Department of Color Medicine in our institute. Chest X-rays and radiologist reports of all patients were analyzed. Chest X-rays were categorized into two groups based on the primary healthcare physician notes and radiologist reports. The first group included abnormal but no malignancy suspected, named as unsuspected malignancy cases. And the second group was abnormal with possible malignancies, that is named as suspected malignancy cases. The diagnosis that was commonly kept by primary healthcare physicians in unsuspected malignancy cases group were pneumonia, collapse, pleural effusion, cavitation or lung abscess, and lymphadenopathy. Whereas suspected malignancy cases were sent to us with the suspicion of mass lesion in the chest X-ray. Coming to the results, there was a male predominance that was found accounting for about 82.7%, whereas females are of 17.2%. Based on the radiological presentation, 30 cases were kept under the group unsuspected malignancies and 22 cases were kept under the group suspected malignancies. The initial diagnosis that was kept by primary healthcare physicians outside were 30% of the cases were diagnosed as pneumonia, whereas 23.2% cases were diagnosed as collapse, whereas 20% were diagnosed as pleural effusion, and 16.7% were diagnosed as cavitation or lung abscess, whereas 10% were diagnosed as non-specific lymphadenopathies. The commonest presenting complaint for all the patients was cough with expectoration, whereas chest pain and dyspnea was commonly complained by patients who were having pleural effusion, whereas hemoptysis is a presenting complaint in patients of pneumonia, and hoarseness of voice was predominant feature in collapse cases. Histopathological diagnosis in unsuspected malignancies came out to be 66.7% were diagnosed to be having a squamous cell carcinoma, whereas 30% were having adenocarcinoma and 3.3% of cases were having a small cell carcinoma. The commonest presentation of squamous cell carcinoma is seen in all the diagnoses, whereas adenocarcinoma is predominantly seen in cases which were diagnosed as pneumonia, and small cell carcinoma was diagnosed in the case of lung cancer or cavitation-like lesion. Histopathological diagnosis in suspected cases, squamous cell carcinoma was predominantly in 72.7%, whereas 22.7% were diagnosed as adenocarcinoma and 4.6% were small cell carcinoma. Investigations that were used for diagnosis in unsuspected malignancy cases, ultrasound guided or CT guided FNAC or biopsy was utilized in 50% of the cases to achieve a diagnosis of malignancy in those patients, whereas 36.7% of cases were diagnosed with bronchoscopy or transbronchial needle aspiration, whereas 13.3% were diagnosed with thoracoscopy or thoracoscope biopsy. To conclude my topic, chest X-rays of more than half of the malignancy cases are not directly suggestive of any malignancy underlying. Hence, further investigation is warranted with continuing or changing symptoms in the patient. The chest X-ray is not suggestive of malignancy. As most of the cases are from primary healthcare physicians, so primary healthcare physicians should be trained or to give an idea of the radiological manifestations which are commonly misdiagnosed.
You told
30 in unsuspected malignancies and 22 were in suspected malignancies.
Okay, and how much was the positivity? You told in percentages.
This was a retrospective observation study. So it doesn't compare any control group or.
Okay, fine. And how much was the time duration?
It was 2 years.
The previous 2 years cases you had?
Yeah.
Okay.
all these cases of malignancy, you can make out any patterns on X-ray. You can directly go
It is centrally located, we can suspect any case of squamous cell or small cell carcinoma. When it is peripherally located, we can suspect any endocarcinoma pattern.
how many of your cases accepted? Your presentation total
52 cases.
how many of cases accepted these two centrally presented cases as squamous cell carcinoma and peripherally presented cases adenocarcinoma. How many of your adenocarcinomas are peripherally presented and how many of your
Location. We didn't have any pattern like
Nice to see such an elite gathering. And not only for me, for each one of us. And I hope this same gathering will maintain till the valedictory function. And I hope that we can organize your state or even national conferences in our prestigious institution. The chairperson. Ram. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Jayalal. Now I So Dr. K, thank you sir, thank you very much. You have done a very excellent job.
It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all on my behalf and on behalf of Medical Education Unit of MIMS to Prerana, first annual academic day of MIMS. I wish to express my sincere thanks to our management for all the support they are extending. Now is the time to welcome our beloved chairman and honorable chief guest onto the dais. I request Dr. Dheeraj Lalita, Vice Principal, to welcome them.
Good morning, dignitaries on the dais and on the dais. Let me take this opportunity to introduce, though it's not new, to our audience, our beloved chairman. He is a man with a vision and a deep insight into the present trends, always exploring new ideas and employing novel techniques. Name anything, it is for the benefit of each and every student of MEMS. Nothing can stop him from advancing in the modern era. Our beloved majestic personality, Dr. Alluri Murthy Raj Garu, we are lucky to have you here. Please welcome him with... May I take this? Dr. Murali Krishna Balakurti is an intellectual yet humble and simple, heading the gastroenterology department in Andhra Medical College. He is MBBS and MDR from Andhra Medical College, SDM from Usmania Medical College. He was a gold medalist in many subjects during his MBBS career. He is a founder member and secretary for Gut Club, Liver Foundation and Habib Project. Habib Project is hepatitis B awareness, education and eradicate for a better tomorrow. And he is also the governing council and national faculty of Indian Society of Endoscopy. There are 2 pending patents on endoscopic appliances on his name. He is a fellow member of SGEI 2014 and ASGE, the first Indian to perform total endoscopy, and he is also the first Indian to perform double balloon endoscopy in India. First oral cholangiography with endoscope, intraoperative endoscopy and disposable endoscope. He was also an organizing secretary right from 2003 for various symposia and also for Introcon 2007, STS on SPD 2007, LIVUP 2010, IABPS 2011 and workshop in single balloon endoscopy 2013, endoscopic ultrasound 2014. Now on Habib, he is working with the strategy of making Visakhapatnam hepatitis B